Alright, we're back in business, boys. The civil end and court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors there run through their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. A samurai spear found lodged in his victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? Skip it. I think I can probably remember that. So, the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? Whoa, did the person? Okay, that's a face. My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, no, this is gonna be fun. Yes. Old people, the bane of Edgeworth. Ha 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 ha, I can see it now. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Wow. What an unfortunate name. I bet she got made fun of in school. Oldbag, Oldbag. Well, I'm not old. Oh, but you will be. And then it's gonna be even funnier. You know? That's kind of... no, I'm not even gonna try this time. Objection! Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. I love the face he's making. Oh, for once I like you, Oldbag. You're making my day happy. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
You see, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you.
You know your stuff, dearie.
My beard does not know how to think about that. Nor do my incredible eyebrows. Ignoring that, you may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Pearl Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through since there since that morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gates from then until 5 o'clock. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was headed toward the studio.
You saw the defendant, then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, at the guard station at 1 p.m. Pearl Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through since this morning. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I had some errands to run that morning. What errands did you run? What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching Pearl Hammer and Powers, observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Whippersnapper! I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your bosses use that word.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow, I want to see Steel's Samurai run through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. But there's one when I went to the guard station. I was the main gate from then until 5. Were you? So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second?
Of course! I am a professional, you know. Well, are you criticizing how I do my job, Whippersnapper?
No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts at the guard station.
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Whippersnapper. Or Snipperwapper.
Snipperwapper. Old Windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see?
Now, the murder happened at 2:30.
How did you know that?
Oh, I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked.
If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job. Poor Detective Gunji, getting ratted out by a security guard. I feel bad for the guy. Interesting to me because a certain man walks by me at 2 p.m. 2? You sure?
Sure as spit.
Well, who was that man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something.
I'm deeply concerned.
Now, don't get your skivvies all on a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said. Got lax in your ears, sonny? Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to cut out the secret one. I'll say it again. It was him.
Ah, shot. Let me get this straight, Oldbag. Miss Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Oldie Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that Powers, right?
No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
Yee! I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Mr. Witness. He's having trouble calling your old bed, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What? Huh? Even Edgewood is surprised? What? Since when is he surprised? At the same time as me. Oh, we're in for something. The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your procession ahead of time.
How was I supposed to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, the old windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. He's got to be hiding something. I'll press until she squeals. Did I say anything I don't mean, mind you? Morning, don't run through the action. Stop Powers, trip and fall. Trip and fall?
Yeah, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. And I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Well, let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up the backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
Broke one of the props. It was a big mess.
Which prop?
He broke a prop. Sure did. His old samurai spear. Samurai spear is a murder weapon. Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
Strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Oh, no, I see it.
Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is...
Where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not what's important. The witness did say this, did see the Steel Samurai, yes? And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. You sure you're sure, Your Honor? Object. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photos can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else, but not caught on camera, could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. I'll let you have. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go through the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this Steel Samurai who did it.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Parameters death true. Person I saw go to the studio before them was Will Powers. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite funny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody suspicious looking. Right. No one else went there. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before Wanna? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure?
Objection!
The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, Edgey-boy.
Edgey-boy. Old Windbag sure has balls, or well, you know what I mean. Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps?
How do you know that? Yeah, didn't I just explain? I give donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being secret, pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gunter shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts.
I want to see some. What do I have? Okay.
I'm gonna go on a limb. And present this.
Objection!
Awesome! I am badass at this. Yeah. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken on October 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says, photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's why I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access to the security lady herself.
You watch your mouth, Mr. Snapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can you then the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgey-boy, help!
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
So helped you are. You're a whippersnapper too.
Whippersnapper. Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security camera and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
The day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security cameras and check them. There are any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see.
How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part.
For the most part. This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing that point.
Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Hold it!
Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Objection!
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so that no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids. Children. Whippersnappers.
Kids? So on the photo that you erased?
It was a boy, probably second or third grade.
What? Order, order. Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about in second or third grade.
Oh yes, well we see this happen there every day. We can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in second or third grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on?
I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect.
Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.